Hello viewers, you're watching the Wild Lifestyle Show. Weeks back, we did an episode on the mother's breastfeeding experience. Today is the father's breastfeeding experience. My name is Helena. When we come back, we'll continue.
Memory, coordination, confidence. You put more into your baby's development than you think. And now you can put more into every mealtime. Cerelac combines iron, vitamin C, and probiotics to support physical and mental development. Nestle Cerelac, now with Iron Plus. Big nutrition for small tummies.
My hair has a mind of its own. What can I say? It's complicated. There are days when it feels like being left alone. I don't try to tame it. I just let it go. Sometimes it feels flirty, but there's always a time when it just wants to take a deep breath and relax. UB Hair Relaxer. Uncomplicate your hair.
I love the new look of my favorite Nivea black and white deodorant. Same reliable double protection against sweat and against stains. No white marks on black and no yellow stains on my white clothes. Proven 48-hour protection with the new look black and white deodorant from Nivea.
Welcome back. My beautiful hair, makeup, nails were done by AJ Hair and Makeovers. They are located at East Legon, Oponglo. They are in the same building as EcoBank. Call them for all kinds of beautiful makeup. My beautiful dress was designed by Loretta Unisex Designs. Call her. You can find her at Osukokomlemle and East Legon. We are shooting at Alisa Hotel. Affordable luxury is what Alisa offers you. Now, I have two special guests here with me to discuss the father's breastfeeding experience. If you are curious about what we're going to say, just stay glued to your set as usual. I have with me my pastor, Reverend Adolf Nakotey. He is a businessman and a Reverend Minister of the Lighthouse Chapel International, the Kodesh. Reverend, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Daniel Amwating is my director, CEO of Mclan Media. Creatively?
Different.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so the father's breastfeeding experience. Usually when we say breastfeeding, everyone is thinking about the mother. What do fathers know about breastfeeding?
Right. Okay, and I'll take that short.
Okay.
Thank you very much, and greetings to all your viewers. I'm glad and privileged to be here, especially to be talking about breastfeeding. Like you said, when we hear breastfeeding, it's often the mom or to do with the mother. But I think fathers, we also have a role to play in breastfeeding. Breastfeeding basically means feeding babies or infants with milk from the mother's breast. That's what I understand. Sometimes it feels like the men are competing with the babies for the breasts. Are you in full support of breastfeeding, especially exclusive breastfeeding?
It's critical. If any man will compete with a baby, then
really?
Maybe there's a little bit of displacement here or there. But I understand that sometimes men get a little jealous along the way. It depends on what, if the breast was the main attraction to the woman, for the man to even wife the woman, and therefore the child has come and everything. And we are talking about 9 months period. Probably there were lots of moments of sickness and stuff, so he doesn't have access to the breast for that time period. And then now the child is here and it's going to do, let's say the mom is doing 6 months exclusive.
You know what exclusive breastfeeding is,
I
right?
do understand. I know
exclusive
that. I have 3 children and all of them we did exclusive.
Okay.
First, second, not the third.
Okay.
Not the third. So basically now the man wants that attraction that brought him to the woman, and for that 9 months plus 6 months, there's no access. You begin to look at the child from the corner of your eyes. Every time the child is feeding, it's like, yo.
And it's a serious look, it's not a joke.
I'm telling you, it's like, you grow up and make a mistake. you know that comes into play. So to a large extent, yes. But you understand that the baby also depends on that milk to be able to survive, and it's in his or her early stage, he said, it's very powerful. So
I see. So did you have any information about exclusive breastfeeding? Because we are hoping that at least once you understand the benefits of exclusive breastfeeding, you will understand and not give that look at least for the first 6 months.
In my case, yes, I did, because I read extensively. I knew exactly what I was doing. So I just didn't want to be found wanting and displaced. So I had to resort to the internet. I had to resort to a lot of books to know before my first baby arrived.
Okay.
So, and I knew exactly, the benefits where there's water, there's minerals, everything that God feels like the baby should have access to, at least for the early stages to survive this harsh world. You understand? So I knew what it was. We had discussed it before the baby came.
Okay.
So when she put it into play, I was with her.
So you both agreed to do exclusive
Oh yes, we did.
breastfeeding.
Yes.
Okay. Was it because it helped you to cut costs, or it was mainly because of the benefits?
The economic value it comes with, I loved it, because later when I started buying, all these formulas, I'm like, could we extend from 6 to, let's say, 1 year?
And you stop giving that look. You stop giving that look when it's extended.
The look wasn't mine. I generalized it. Please.
It wasn't. You were not giving that look. Okay, you are talking for some men.
Yes.
Did they send you? Okay, so how were you involved with the whole breastfeeding process?
For me, I think I prepared for it.
Okay.
I'm a pastor, I'm a businessman. My wife is a banker. So we needed to prepare for it. For 6 months, she will be on it. That means that I'll have to find someone to do what I do so that I can help in the house.
Okay.
So what I did was, I'm going to be in the house and be the house husband, if I can put it that way. Yes. So it means I'm going to do the house chores. I'm going to cook. I'm going to normally, babies.
Tell the men that there's nothing wrong with that.
Men, if you are watching, there is nothing wrong with that, because I'm a pastor and I have done it before. This is from experience.
Mr. Martin, do you agree?
Well, the cooking
it's okay that for the man, it's not like you are just sleeping, you're just helping at a point.
You see, help also comes in various forms. I helped, but not directly, getting into the kitchen to cook. Last time I tried making her soup, it became stew. We had to add a lot more water, to balance it out. Cooking is not my special thing, but then my strength would come in when she's tired. You understand? And in my particular case, she had a lot of milk. Understand? She would sleep and wake up and her chest is all wet and all that. So we had to resort to a breast pump. And then she would express the milk and refrigerate it. So even when she's sleeping, I could feed the baby. And it was my first baby, proud dad. Until the second one, I realized that I'm helping too much.
Really?
Introducing Cerelac Biscuity, the new baby cereal from Cerelac, with a great new biscuity taste that babies absolutely love. And of course, it's fortified with iron to support babies' healthy growth, just like all the other nutritious Cerelac flavors. Cerelac, big nutrition for small tummies.
Michuni de eyeje po. Medwe ho kra menti ase. Enti toda na mejanisa. Ebebe nso wo ha na ne dwen na ba. Nesreni nemo no. Minya atinka bi se opese on relax. You be here relaxer. Ma wo twini ho ntono.
Half of my heart is in Havana.
Memo akwaba de ba Swiss Cafe Restaurant. Aduane bi a wope bia. Say ya brofo de. Ana Ghana de. Swiss Cafe Restaurant, eye ni nyina. Kwesi ada biara, buffet papa bi twen wo Swiss Cafe Restaurant. We dey serve yourself papa bi. Wo didi na quartet bi so born yompa. Kwesi ada biara sa wo pon asori a, woni abusua, enamfofo, adofo, emra medidi wo Swiss Cafe. I want Lisa Hotel, Northridge.
Menem na busuan for die. Kwesi ada bia ya point sorry. Lisa Hotel nearby Swiss Cafe, Sunday branch. O meduani die. Nani boda from.
So, talking about the kind of support you gave, he talked about the fact that he also could help with, feeding the baby at dawn when wife was sleeping. And I think that I would like to encourage men to provide, we really value some of these kinds of support, because imagine, we know that you also go out to work and all that. Also, staying with the baby, breastfeeding all day, is not a joke. Some people think that you are just home and breastfeeding, you're not doing anything. My baby, my breath, and I'll be having baby. They don't have time for that. And we did the mother's breastfeeding experience, and the mothers were sharing that sometimes, even at home, you can be depressed, frustration, especially when you're not getting breast milk and all that. So I think that some men can learn from you as you provided some support and not give up like you did for your second. Oh,
I didn't completely give up. I said that, I started thinking about it again because, you
only thought about it, but you didn't execute
the thing is,
plans.
when we offer the help, okay, I can only speak for myself, right?
Okay.
When I offered the help consistently, then it was becoming the norm. So it was moving from being a sweet husband to now taking up that responsibility. You understand? It's like you're expected to do it because it's like we had this baby together, but I was being romantic before I realized it was becoming methodic. Yes.
So we beg you, we don't take it for granted.
Yeah, but for me,
don't take it for granted.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
I believe before baby came, you came together and had baby. So when mother is breastfeeding, you have to also, I believe it has to be a teamwork. So there shouldn't be a period where one will say that this is not my duty. She carried the baby for 9 months.
Thank you, Rev.
You didn't do anything for 9 months.
We're just gallivanting around.
Yes. So for me, I would say that it has to be a teamwork. Just as you had that team work and brought this baby into the world.
I like the emphasis.
I always tell my husband that I wish that God made men pregnant, because I think that sometimes men don't value even the period of pregnancy. And even what we go through, waking up at dawn to feed the baby, doing the house chores and all that. It's as if you have done nothing, and that I have come from work and I'm so tired. Don't bug me,
I agree with you.
I'm glad that...
Let me come in for a minute. All right. You're talking as if, you carried that, the sperm that gave you the child for 9 months and you're here complaining. I've been carrying that sperm all my life.
It is not sperm. we are carrying eggs as well. We are also carrying eggs.
And then I was saying, listen, whatever that actually met your eggs for you to become pregnant and carry for 9 months, I have been carrying it my whole life. So I don't think
the sperm, what you have been carrying had to also meet with something else we have also been carrying all our lives.
Why is this becoming an argument? I understand that, yes, you did. Right? But then again, there are responsibilities. I've met mine.
So I just want to nullify your point, because, you carried something all your life. I carried something all my life. And now you've added your load to mine, and it's becoming bigger. Okay. So who has the bigger burden?
The period that you were pregnant, and you said that the man will be gallivanting. That word is so scary.
Some men
gallivanting.
Or most
that was kind of a joke. That was kind of a joke, man.
That is the period we also gathered the finance to clear you from the hospital.
But we still work when we are pregnant. I was working when I was pregnant.
That is in your case.
I worked for 9 months.
Okay.
Yes.
And then I remember with me, when my first child came, I had to rearrange my life. I had to bring my studios, editing benches, everything home.
Thank you.
So I could be that father. And when it gets to the time that she knows, she will express and she will put it in the fridge. And then you have access to the breast milk and will feed the baby. And she wears the heels and go and not come back till 9 p.m. Then it's becoming a problem. You get it?
Right.
So it's not like it's intentional. I'm not saying that is exactly what happened, but I'm giving a general picture.
I hear you. You don't want
before
trouble.
I go home to meet trouble.
You definitely go home and meet trouble.
Exactly. So when considering those facts, then you also have to know how to balance it out, that it is equally shared. The fact that I'm throwing in my weight so much doesn't mean that you should give up yours. I don't want you to meet your friends and be talking about you have a great husband, in actual fact to cover up for the fact that you are not being that responsible. So it can only go so far.
I think I can agree with you to some extent. To some extent. Yes, we shouldn't also take it for granted that you are helping, and we shouldn't make it look like it's your responsibility now. Fine, the baby is ours, and we are supposed to support each other, and we appreciate the times that you had to feed the baby at dawn while we were sleeping, and we appreciate the cooking. We appreciate the chores you supported us with, and we encourage other men to do that, because it's really not easy, and we feel loved when you do all these things.
Well, with the breastfeeding, I think the major problem is the kids that just don't want to get off the breast, even when they start. When it is.
That's the surprise.
You see,
that's the surprise. Yes, let's talk about the surprises.
Because I know of a friend who had this child that just wouldn't stop breastfeeding. 1.5 years, this boy is going to the KG, coming back home.
1.5 kg.
First thing is reaching for the mother's breast. Now, when
but 1.5 years is normal. They're supposed to continue breastfeeding up to 2 years.
Up to 2?
Yes.
But this boy in particular, there was a way. You know, the mother at a point will put paracetamol on the breast just to prevent him, because then the tongue touches it, it's a little bitter. This boy would go straight to the kitchen, get a napkin, dip it in water, come wipe it.
1.5 years.
Sometimes he buys biscuits on the way from school to come and just add the breast milk. What is that?
Oh, are you serious?
You think I'm joking?
More than 2 years. I mean, that must be an older boy.
He said, give me biscuit. We'll take the breast milk.
This one is a joke.
It is not a joke. So the father will be sitting there like, no, you have been sent. And wherever you came from, you're going right back there.
Are you that father?
I am not that father.
Because this is difficult to believe. It has to be real. Rev, do you have any surprises?
Well, I was going to say the same thing.
Okay,
because
you also had that challenge.
Yes, we gave this baby some 6 months to feed on the breast.
You gave him 6 months.
All of a sudden, he's taken over for a year and sometimes over.
Yeah,
and I think
over,
it's
Mom.
quite worrying, especially when you are a breast lover.
Okay.
At night.
Aren't all men breast lovers? Aren't all men breast lovers?
Well, I don't know what.
It's not everybody.
Actually, I met a man who questioned the breast. I mean, he feels that he doesn't use the breast for himself, but I mean, it's for the woman's pleasure. Do you agree with him? That's just by the way.
So, I don't know what to say, but for me,
apostolic answer.
I'll be a man here. Because I'm a man of God, so there's the man before the of God. Yeah, I think men like breast. It gives us pleasure, and for me, I love it.
Thank you.
And to lay emphasis on that, no two different breasts taste the same.
You brought up this issue again.
I shouldn't. I thought we were talking about breast and feeding.
We are.
So,
breast. I don't want us to go into that because we may not exhaust main discussion.
I tasted my mother's breast, and I tasted my wife's breast, and the taste is not the same. That's what I'm trying to say.
We won't divert.
Okay.
All right. So you are complaining about the extent of breastfeeding. Does it mean that if given the chance, you would want us to recommend only exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months, and after that, we wean the baby off the breast? Is that what the men think?
I'm happy you said if given the chance, you will do that. I will be excited if it can be done, because like I said earlier, I love breast, so I will not want my baby to be on it forever. This is what bonds us, so I wouldn't want him or her to take over and then split
for so long, in spite of the health benefits, because after 6 months, the baby still needs 500 mils of milk. So if the baby is not getting from breast, then it means that you need to buy. Are you ready to make that sacrifice?
I'm glad.
And you know, nothing beats
pump.
breast milk, actually.
Yeah, you mentioned the breast pump. So I'm sure that's an alternative. We can just win the breast from the breast pump thing, and then you can have yours in the bottle.
So you don't mind drinking the breast milk too? Because once you are suckling, or what you do, you don't suckle, so you don't get milk.
Sometimes you just have to play with
it.
Yes, that's okay.
He doesn't suckle, he fondles. The words are similar but not same.
Okay, if you don't take care, we are going to divert.
My wife loves that.
Okay.
Hey.
To sleep with
LP.
the breast in my okay, yeah. And
Wow.
I'm happy she's a pastor as well, so
LP.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's normal. Looks like you have something to say.
No.
So what would be your recommendation for breastfeeding?
But I have a question though.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
That okay. After the 6 months exclusive, and let's say you want to take the child of it, for how long? If let's say he wasn't a fondler but a sucker, then for how long would it be safe without getting milk in your mouth?
So you know the body is designed to produce milk after the woman has delivered. Once there is suckling going on, once you are pumping, message is sent to the brain, and indeed there will be flow of breast milk. So as long as you are breastfeeding the child, the milk will flow. Yes.
So how long does the baby stay off for the brain to realize that now I need to cut the milk?
So the recommendation has been exclusive for first 6 months and continuous breastfeeding for 2 years.
2 years.
So as long as the baby is breastfeeding, the milk will continue to flow. Unless you decide to wean the baby off, then of course the milk will still be produced. But once the baby stops breastfeeding, of course the production will cease after some time.
1 week, 2 weeks?
Sometimes it depends on the person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not general for it to stop. Some people, once they stop breastfeeding, nothing flows at all. I mean, yes, but for others, it takes time. It takes a week. For others, it might even take a month. Yeah, but I think in a month's time, once you wean the baby off.
I wish I had this information earlier.
That's for 7 months then. So
What
6.
do you mean for 7 months?
Because you stop at 6, and
Who
then
stops
you
at
wait.
6?
The baby stops at 6.
Just in case you try to take the baby off the breast.
Which is not
After
what
the 6
we
months.
recommend.
Okay.
Thank you.
But if you decide to take the baby off, but we wish that you don't decide, because breast milk has a lot of benefits. I believe you are aware about that. It protects the baby from getting sick. My baby never got sick. He never had diarrhea. You know, there are so many benefits, brain development, etc. So many benefits. So once you decide to take the baby off, it means that you are cutting short all these benefits that God has made for the baby, and you need a replacement. Of course, there are appropriate breast milk substitutes, but nothing matches breast milk. So you need to make the choice.
I understand, because looking at my first daughter, second daughter, all of them are 6 months exclusive. 6 months without water.
Right.
It's 6 months. And it's just my boy that, wasn't able to do that. And you can tell. They are stable, they are healthy. I remember the last time I put their doctor's report, it was almost empty.
Okay.
And that is true, just to, back up what you just said. And let me take the opportunity also to just say kudos to all women who breastfeed. It's not an easy task, I know. I've watched her do it, and sometimes she falls asleep in the process. If you are not there to give cover to the baby, you might drop the baby in the process and stuff like that, and it is not their will, but it's like, I'm tired, and yes, you do well.
Because I've had that experience before.
We want to go for a quick break. When we come back, we take your experience. We'll be right back. On Healthy Youth segment today, Kwame Sefa wants to know what times he should be having his meals. Okay, so we have 3 main meals of the day. We have our breakfast, our lunch, and our supper or our dinner. Now, it's advised that you don't miss breakfast. So if you can, I know some people have difficulties eating breakfast, but it's good to have your breakfast, no matter how light it is. So by 8, you should be done with your breakfast. Latest 9 a.m., make sure you have your breakfast. By 1 p.m., let's do our lunch. Latest by 2, you should be done. Okay, and in the evenings, because it's assumed that latest by 10, I mean, you'll be sleeping, and we don't advise that you go to bed immediately after you have eaten. So by 6 p.m., you should be done with your dinner, and I believe this will make you safe. If you need further specific recommendations, then you need to see your nutritionist or dietitian for guidance. Back to my guests. Rev, we were talking about experience. We were going to share an experience before we went for the break.
Yes, thank you. As Nana said, we woke up, I think around 2 a.m. and baby was not with us.
Oh.
So we're wondering where baby went because she was with us. And mommy woke up in the middle of the night to breastfeed or feed the baby, and fell asleep in the process, and baby fall off the bed. It was just by the grace of God that when she did, the pillow was there, so the pillow went down before she did, and I'm sure she fell on the pillow, and she was very full, so she didn't feel the impact, so she remained there and slept there, and we were up looking for the baby everywhere in the house. So we had to go to the side of the bed, and we realized she was peacefully sleeping there.
Were you a pastor by then?
I was not then in the process.
The angels have been with you a long time.
Yes, they have been with me. That's why I'm a pastor. Yeah. So we really need to give them that help. And like you said, they get tired doing this in the day. I mean, doing it. And I was speaking to a friend and was telling me that Akwa we do Didi Pao. It means Adidas. You know Adidas? Yeah. I called sleep, eat. And I think it's tiring. That's why you need our support. So that's the experience.
Thank you. All right. So thank you for sharing that experience. But we've talked about, I mean, your common challenge about not weaning the baby in the time you want us to. But were there other challenges you had with breastfeeding in general, or in providing support for your wives?
Well, that will mean that the tables would turn right now, because in the process of breastfeeding, women also tend, I don't know how to call, if I should generalize it, that in that period of time, they might also want to get naughty.
Naughty means?
Oh.
Okay,
Should I go into details?
Oh.
Okay, so intimate.
Okay.
For want of word. Okay? So after the 7 months, breastfeeding and stuff like that, they feel like, oh, we are okay to get back to regular act. And a man, you know there's milk in there, and they're still talking to you about fondling, about put it in your mouth.
So it's not a comfortable feeling to think of the milk.
I like milk, but when it's carnation is best. You, you understand? Or let's say ideal. Not that type of milk.
We hear you. So that's one of your challenges. I guess Rev didn't have any challenge.
I do not think so.
Okay, so
no. Looks like the breast milk.
He loves the breast milk as well. Well, let's take our final words. What do you have to tell our viewers, your fellow men? I would love to encourage every man to support your wife. I mean, not even during breastfeeding alone. I mean, this is a peculiar situation, but I mean, I'll be glad if Rev adds more, like supporting women with, I mean, stuff at home doesn't make you less of a man.
Yeah, right.
It actually builds the bond between couples.
Yeah.
So your final words.
So this gentleman comes to me and says that he's not happy with the wife. And I'm asking, what did she do to you? She said, when I come home and we have to eat, she needs to come with a bowl of water for me to wash my hands.
Is he an Ashanti man? Like people?
An Ashanti man.
He is.
And I'm like, you are joking. We are in the 21st century. So the first question was, do you have a sink in your house? He said, yes, I do. I said, then get up and go and wash your hands in the kitchen or wherever, and then come and sit down and eat. Because this is the 21st century. You don't expect a wife to go to work and come back. You've also gone to work. Like I said, I I'm a businessman. I work very hard, but by the grace of God, I have people working for me. So I will say, in a way, I don't do much at work because I just have to instruct and it will be done. And she goes to work. She's a banker. She'll have to be there 7. And you know, these banks, they give them targets, and she comes home and she's. And then you're expecting her to also come. I mean, normally they are given 3 months or so. Maternity leave, and then she comes back. You have to feed because we're talking about 6 months, and you are even asking us to do more than 6 months. And she comes to do this as well, and you don't give the support she needs. I don't think it's fair on her in this 21st century. So I think we have to get to that position where we realize that this is where we are in the world now.
Some argue that the Proverbs 31 woman was doing all that without support from the man.
But the Proverbs 31 woman was quoted ages ago.
They even argue that the woman was going to the farm as well.
I don't know if you go to the farm. You probably may have a backyard garden at home, and so from work you go.
No, what they mean to say, she was doing hard work and still doing that.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. But they didn't have bankers, women working at the bank at that time.
Yeah, women are strong, I know, but they are not strong all the way. And the strength actually is complemented by that of a man. I know it's not easy. The body changes we go through during the period alone, when they have to get back to get back in shape. Sometimes even aside the breastfeeding and everything, the cloth they're tying around their tummy area, workouts, sit-ups, stuff like that, just to
all
get in
for
shape.
you.
All for you, so that it wouldn't just go all crazy. So I've experienced it on a 3rd level, 1, 2, and a 3rd time. So I know what I'm talking about. I commended women already. I just want to tell my friends, my fellow men, that listen, it takes 2. It's not a one-sided game at all. It takes 2. And there's a benefit. Your ties becomes stronger. You bond better when you are there, actually. The bonding, and then you save yourself a lot of trouble. You enjoy peace, which a man needs to forge forward. Peace.
Thank you so much for sharing your breastfeeding experience. See you next week.